Will Richardson and Eric Williams Jr. Please raise your hand if you have any questions for either coach or student athletes, and we'll start right here in the middle of the room.
24/7 Sports. Dana, this is our first opportunity to talk to you. Just your thoughts on this team and how you've constructed it and kind of your vision for how they'll play this year.
Well, I hope we play hard. I hope we play well. We've got good players. The guys returning. Will's been with us for 3 years. Eric's been with us for 2. We got Big Frank back. Dante's recovering from an ACL. He's back. Luke Ward's back. So we have 5 really good players, good guys to work with that are back, and a lot of new guys. Brought in 3 transfers that all have great experience from winning programs. Davion Harmon from Oklahoma, Quincy from Syracuse, and Jacob Young from Rutgers. Rivaldo came in from junior college. He's going to be a good player. We got a couple talented freshmen and Nate Biddle and Isaac Johnson. So, I like the guys. We got a young man from Canada late, Ethan Butler, who's got a chance to be a good player in time. So, good group of guys. We're moving along kind of slow now. I know they're frustrated because we're not moving quicker, especially the vets who have a pretty good idea of what we're doing. And with so many new guys, it's taking a little longer and frustrates the players, the coaches sometimes. But I think if we keep working at it, we have a chance to be okay.
Go to Nick Daschle.
Nick Daschle from the Oregonian. Dana, is this the tallest team you've ever had or close to it? And how does that change your team from a year ago?
Well, we lost a big part of our team last year when Dante went down. We were kind of planning on playing 2 ways, with Dante and without him. And when he went down after 6 games, we pretty much can only play one way. And I thought it hurt us against some of our bigger opponents because we were pretty small, starting 6'6", kind of right across the line. Certain teams, with big athletes, gave us some problems. And I thought Dante would have helped us in that regard. So, I'm assuming he's going to be healthy. Frank's made a step. He's bigger, stronger, more confident. Nate Biddle's got tremendous upside. Very talented young man. He's got to get more physical, and, he's a freshman, so it's going to take a while. And Isaac Johnson's been on a 2-year mission, Mormon mission, and so he's back, and I think he's got a really good feel for the game and just going to take some time to kind of shake off the rust and get stronger. He needs to get stronger also, more physical. So we got 4 guys in there that 6'11", and all 4 of them are gifted. So it'll be interesting to try to blend them in, try to get them to work together. We can go with some bigger lineups, really gives us some flexibility on what we do with some of our matchups that we didn't have a year ago. And so as a coaching staff, you like being able to play different ways. You like to be able to change it up if something's not working, and I think those 4 guys give us the flexibility to do that.
We'll go back to Matt Bream up front.
Question for Dana and Will. We saw the significance of a 4-year starter a couple of years ago with Peyton. Will is going to be in his 4th year now for the program. Just your thoughts on his potential, and Will, just your thoughts of being in the system now for 4 years and kind of what that brings to the table for you.
Well, they get a a reward for putting up with me for 4 years. So no, I'm glad Will's back. You know, he had opportunities. All our guys have opportunities to go play. You know, that's one thing about basketball. It's a different game. Guys can jump after 1, 2, 3, and you know, Peyton stayed for 4, and it did wonders for him. You know, Eric's in his 4th year. He's already graduated. He hasn't been with us for 4 years, but this is his 3rd year with us. He redshirted a year, and this is his 3rd year. I think that's beneficial. Will understands the league. He understands what we're up against. He was injured last year, and I think that gives him a different perspective because he had to sit there for 12, 13 games, and you know, that makes a player appreciate the game a lot more. You know, when you take something away, it makes you appreciate the game a lot more. So I think he's got great insight. He's really developed as a player. He's in the gym now. Him and Eric, you know, I see him in the morning getting shots up every day, which is always encouraging for a coach. You know, if guys are putting up extra shots before and after practice, you know, they're all in. You know, if they can put up 2, 3, 4 hour practice and then still spend some time in the gym shooting, you know, they're all in. So it's been great to work with Will. We've had a couple conference championships, a couple Sweet 16s, and hopefully we can finish it better.
What was the question again? Just your significance of being in the program now for 4 years, how that factors into.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just gives you like a lot of confidence, like knowing the coaching staff, knowing the plays, like what the coaches want from you, and it just helps you like get your teammates going and get your teammates involved because you understand the concept of offense and defense. So you could just help, like when you get freshmen in or just transfers, like who are experienced playing college basketball but not under this system, you could just help them out, you know, like help them get a better understanding of the what the coaches want from them.
Go back to Nick.
Dana, you lost a longtime assistant, Tony Stubblefield. You brought in Chris Crutchfield. How does that fresh set of eyes change what you're doing in practice and games?
Well, first of all, I really miss Stubb. I mean, we've been together for 11 years, and he worked his tail off for the University of Oregon and for our players. So I miss Tony a bunch. Fortunately, we were able to hire Chris Crutchfield, who's stepped in, and he does give us a different perspective. You know, I love hearing what he's got to say, and I think he's going to be great for our program. He's a hard worker just like Tony. They were actually, you know, roommates in college, and Tony was in Crutch's wedding. So I had a lot of recommendations from Tony. He worked for Coach Kruger, who's my mentor, and he was with Coach for 9 years. So it was an easy hire for me, and the comfort level. I've known Crutch for a long time, so it was really an easy decision for me. But I'm going to miss Tony. You know, 11 years trying to build something at Oregon. He was there every day, and office right next to mine. He had to listen to me complain all the time, and you know, he was great.
Ben Parker.
Ben Parker, CardinalSportsReport.com. This is a question for Will and Eric. Just talk about what areas of your game have you guys most focused on to improve this offseason as you get ready for this season?
I'll probably say my right hand. I mean, they sat on my left hand hard last year, and I think I can use my right hand, but I have to just show it. So just been working on my right hand.
I just been focused on staying healthy, like getting my body prepared, learning how to eat right, learning how to sleep right, and just making sure I stay healthy this season.
PJ?
PJ, Carlos Snow, Pac-12 Networks. Will and Eric, I'm asking you to kind of, what's going to happen in the future? Eric, you transferred. Will, you've been there. What do you think with the transfer rules, the way they are now, maybe even combining NIL a little bit? What do you think is going to happen in college basketball going forward? You see more guys leaving and transferring, or from the players' standpoint, what do you think about what's going on with the rules?
I think it just gives a little more uncertainty to like each program, not knowing if a kid's going to stay and buy into the program or leave. So I just think it's like a little more uncertainty, but I don't know, I stayed at the same school for 4 years, so I'm not really into transfer. My dad didn't really preach that to me, so.
I just think it's just crazy times. I mean, it's like free agency, so I don't think there's that much loyalty nowadays. I don't know how it's going to go, So it's just crazy times with the transfer rules and now the NIL, so kids can make money, so it's a lot different.
Hey, Dane, did you ever think back that Moberly or Southeast, you've had so much success and you've had so much turnover. You've had more turnover than most schools do, and it never seems to really impact you as much as people would think. You have a lot of new faces on the roster. Coaching in a 2-year situation earlier in your career, does that help you at all or give you a different perspective?
Well, it does, but, we preach all the time. We only want guys that want to be at Oregon. And if you have any doubts, you can't be your best, and we collectively can't be our best. I mean, you got to be all in. We got the longest basketball season, or the longest season of any collegiate sport. We're starting October 1. We're hoping to be playing April 1. Man, if you're not all in, so I think the ability to transfer and go where you think you can be your best is a right that every athlete should have. I've got no problem with that. I never have. And maybe that comes from my junior college background. I want guys that want to be there and want to be all in. And the guys who have really been successful in our program are that way. They know they want to be at Oregon. They know they want to work with our staff. And you would hope that some guys would go through some ups and downs and realize that, if it's tough, that doesn't always mean it's bad, But I want our guys to want to be there because we can only accomplish what we want to accomplish, win conference titles, go to the NCAA tournament, try to win a national title. We can only accomplish that if the guys want to be at Oregon. And so I've got no problem with guys if they think that another situation's better for them. I'll give them the pros and cons of that decision, but if they want to go, I understand it. I've never tried to talk anybody out of it. I say, are you sure you want to do this? Because I think you have a future here. But if they say, Coach, I just don't, I think somewhere else is better, that's the end of the conversation. Because I know we can't accomplish what we want to accomplish if they're not all in. And so, and there's going to be ups and downs. There's no season that trajectories like that. It's wins, losses, injuries, girlfriend breaks up with you, whatever the case may be. The ups and downs, you got to want to be there.
Casey?
Casey Jacobson with Pac-12 Network and Fox. This question is for the players, Will and Eric. Pac-12 has a lot of good programs, a lot of good players. I want to know from your guys' perspective, who is the player that you respect the most, an opponent that you respect the most as a player? And why?
I think I respect all of them. I mean, we all here for a reason, so I just respect every player for who they are. I don't overlook anybody like that. So
you don't have an individual rivalry with anybody in the Pac-12?
I mean, we've had battles with some teams, but I mean, I never look at it like an individual because it's still a team sport, so you can't do a.
Yeah, I'm the same with him. We kind of respect every team the same. Like they say, it's the Conference of Champions. Like you could lose to any team in this league, so they are pretty much the same to us.
Man, you guys are way nicer than I was when I played.
Got a few more minutes. Let's go to Eldridge, and then Bruce will wrap up.
I can tell these guys have been in Coach Altman's program for a long time. They know how to downplay it, too. Coach, I've been calling you games for 7 years. You always like to go under the radar. But what I want to know is, even your players, I go back to Dylan Brooks, Peyton Pritchard, Chris Duarte last year, guys that naturally didn't get the exposure but ended up getting drafted high and playing great in the NBA. Who's that guy this year? Who's the Chris Duarte, Peyton Pritchard, Dylan Brooks of this team?
For me, it's too early to tell because, and these guys have seen it with like Peyton and Chris. I mean, first one to practice, last one to leave every day. The consistency it takes to jump from our level playing 31 games to going to play 82. The ability to bring it every day, mentally, physically, is something that they've got to demonstrate over the course of a season. And every NBA team asks it, you know, can they go through the grind? You know, can they be there every day? Can they show up for practice every day and compete? And, you know, they've got to prove that. You know, Will's made tremendous progress doing that. Eric's made progress, you know. So, you know, Chris made progress as junior, but then last year took it to a whole different level. Eugene, who's with Dallas, was unbelievable last year. You talk about consistency. He brought it every day. And I wouldn't have known that on October 13th sitting here, you know. I had to see it every day because Eugene was coming off some surgeries. But as far as consistency last year, we had nobody close to Eugene. And that's why he ended up with Dallas, you know, because that drive, that consistency every day to bring it mentally and physically. And then when things didn't go well for him, to fight through it. And so I think we got some great candidates to do that. But, you know, it's a 6-month evaluation for our coaching staff to see who's really going to make that jump.
Okay, we got to go quickly. We'll go to Bruce for the last question.
Yeah, hi, Dana. I was just wondering how your thoughts on how the NIL is playing out at this point, and do you look at it both within the conference and without, as far as what's happening with other schools, and you know, UNLV with the cars deal and stuff like that? Do you think it could change things, or how much?
Well, it's going to change things. There's no doubt about it. I'm for it. I think players, you know, if they have the ability to make some money, I think it's great. I think it's a work in progress. I think it's going to be, you know, these guys are like in the first year of it. And, you know, people just don't know how to respond. Our boosters don't know how to respond. You know, as coaches, we don't know what the rules are. We don't want to arrange anything because we'll get in trouble. You know, so everybody's just kind of trying to figure it out. You know, fortunately, we have a group that's got together and put some things together for our student athletes, for all our student athletes, which I think is a big benefit. But, you know, the NIL, you know, Iowa State coming, you know, giving $6,000 a year for the players if they finish their careers and things. There's so many things happening for our student athletes right now that, you know, I think great benefit to them. But it is going to put a lot of pressure on athletic departments and coaching staffs to, you know, to make sure that we keep everybody, you know, it's a team game still, you know, and so we're going to run into some of the problems that the professional ranks run into if Will gets something that Eric doesn't, and Eric's upset about that, and you know, we're a whole new set of problems that coaches are going to have to go through. But again, it's time, you know. Players have the right to go to whatever school they want, and if they have an opportunity to make some money with their names, I'm all for it. I've got no problem with it.
We've got less than a minute. We'll go back to Nick.
Dana, how much longer do you want to coach?
Well, if you asked me after practice Monday, I'd have said one more day because these guys wore me out. You know, I don't have anything else. I got my family and my grandkids now. But coaching these guys, you know, is what I love to do. You know, I don't know what I'd do if I didn't go to the gym every day. My wife, Reva, would get tired of me really quick. I can only see the grandkids so much. So I want to coach as long as Oregon will have me. You know, fortunately, got great support. You know, Rob's been great. President Schill's been great. Everybody's, you know, really supported our staff well. You know, I've been able to keep my staff together. Kevin's been with me for 20 years, and Josh Jameson, 11. Tony was with me for 11 before he went to DePaul. So I'm able to keep my staff. I love coaching. I love going to the gym every day. So as long as I feel like I'm not letting the guys down and I still have a lot of energy, I'm 63. You know, I'd like to go a long time yet, but a lot of factors in that. And You know, if I'd have some more grandkids, maybe I'd get out of it then. Because my granddaughter came to practice the other day, and I told these guys, don't ever make me make a decision between her and you guys, because I'll take her every time. And the guys all laughed, but it's true. Those grandkids change things. But I love coaching. I hope that Oregon will have me for a long time yet, because I'd love to keep going for a long time yet.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You bet.
Appreciate your time.